Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The North Ridgeville City Council meeting is now in session. Today is Monday, October 20th, 2025. Please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Father, we come before you today with gratitude, and we thank you for the opportunity to serve our community. We ask for your wisdom and your guidance as we make decisions that will impact the lives of those we serve. In your name, we pray, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
Swink.
Here.
Schaefer.
Here.
Abens.
Here.
Winkle.
Here.
Awig.
Here.
DeVries.
Here.
Jacobs.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
Law Director.
Here.
City Engineer. Here. Finance Director. Clerk of Council. Here.
All right, first up tonight, under the approval of minutes, we have the regular City Council meeting minutes dated October 6th, 2025. Are there any changes or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes stand approved as submitted. And note that council has also received the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting minutes dated September 24th, 2025, and the Planning Commission meeting minutes dated October 14th, 2025. That'll bring us to our lobby session. For those who may not be familiar, the lobby session is the portion of our meeting in which the public is allowed an opportunity to address City Council as well as the administration. We do ask anybody who wishes to speak from the podium, please, and from the podium only. I will ask you to begin by stating your name and your address for the record, at which time you will be allowed up to 3 minutes to speak regarding matters pertaining to the business of City Council or the general affairs of the City of North Ridgeville. Also, as a reminder, in the interest of time, the lobby session is not intended to be an interactive question and answer session, but nonetheless, we do welcome and appreciate your comments. So at this time, the lobby session is now open. I do have 2 written submissions, which we will take in the order in which they were received. Up first, Robert Baumgartner. Again, sir, if you could please begin by stating your name and address,
Yeah,
and your
absolutely.
3 minutes will begin.
All right, so my name's Robert Baumgartner. I live at 6327 Stony Ridge Road. All right, so I'm going to play you a little video. Well, you can't see the video, neither could I, but you'll hear it.
And this is just a resolution.
This is Mr. Schaefer and our mayor.
Before
last
you
meeting.
write this minute, yes, it is a resolution.
So that's kind of like a promise.
Yep. Do you keep your promises? That's the question that's being asked tonight.
The question I'm asking you is, do you keep your promises?
I don't have to.
You don't have
Council
to.
makes the decision.
All right, Mr. Mayor, you don't have to keep your promises. That's good to know.
Play the whole audio.
I wish the meeting didn't have this camera glitch. Excuse me, I have 3 minutes, sir. I wish this meeting didn't have that camera glitch because I can picture the faces when those words left your mouth. Honesty from our elected officials is not optional. It's the foundation of public trust. Without truth, government means nothing. At the last town meeting, I heard something truly that shocked me. Our mayor openly saying that it was okay for him to be dishonest. Because he's the mayor. He's the mayor. It's council, he has to be honest. Okay, let that sink in. This man's elected to lead our city. The one who took the oath to serve the city stood before us all and said, hey, line's acceptable to him. That statement wasn't just careless, sir. It was arrogant, kind of like that little smirk he got there. And it sent a message that truth and accountability, they're privileges reserved for others, not obligations for those in power. That's the complete opposite of leadership. A mayor who excuses dishonesty is a man who cannot be trusted. The people of the city deserve honesty, transparency, and respect. When the truth becomes optional, corruption becomes inevitable. It starts small. One lie here, one misleading statement there. But it grows. It'll grow until the citizens lose faith. They stop showing up. They stop believing that their voices actually matter. That is how communities crumble. I refuse to sit back and watch that happen here. I also want to address council members Georgia Awig and Jason Jacobs. Week after week, vote after vote, you've chosen to stand behind the mayor without question. It's as if every motion, every proposal, every decision gets an automatic yes, regardless of the issue, no matter the consequences to the community. That's not representation. That's compliance right there. You're elected to serve the people of the city, not rubber stamp whatever he says. Being on a council means thinking critically, asking hard questions, and standing up for what's right.
Mr. Baumgartner, your 3 minutes has elapsed.
I request additional time.
I would like to request he get 3 more minutes.
Councilman made a motion for 3 additional minutes. The motion was made by Schaefer and seconded by Swink to allow Mr. Baumgartner up to an additional 3 minutes to speak. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. All opposed, say no. Please
Thank
go
you, sir.
ahead.
All right, so where I left off, it's not representation, it's compliance. You're elected to serve the people, not to approve whatever he wants. Being on the council means thinking critically, asking your hard questions, and standing up for what's right, even when it's not popular, even when it makes meetings uncomfortable. And as you both reapproach re-election, understand this, the people are watching. We notice when you stay silent. We notice when you refuse to question Kevin's authority. And we will remember when it's time to vote. I'm asking for something simple here. Honesty, transparency, and courage. Those aren't extreme demands. They're the bare minimum of anyone who serves public office. If our mayor believes that lying is acceptable, then he has forgotten what public service means. And if the council members enable that behavior by remaining silent or complicit, then they are just as responsible for the damages it causes. This community deserves leaders who tell the truth, not just when it's convenient, but always. Leaders who earn trust, not demand it. Leaders who remember that the title public servant means that you serve the public, not yourself, not each other. We can rebuild trust, but it starts with accountability. It starts with citizens like us demanding better, right here and right now. The truth should never be negotiable. Not for a mayor, not for a council member, and not for anyone who takes an oath to serve this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Baumgartner. The second submission that we have this evening is from Albert Craig. Mr. Craig, if you could please begin by stating your name and address for the record, and your 3 minutes will begin.
Well, that's a hard one to follow. Albert Craig, 37903 Sugar Ridge Road. I thought I'd just bring you up to a little bit of an update. You know, my issue is the trucks. There's still very little effort being done about it. For every one truck that you hear or see getting pulled over by a cop, especially even in my neighborhood, there's 10 more that went through that didn't get caught. We got our Brinks trucks, our Loomis armored trucks been going through. By the way, they speed. They're going through more frequently now. We get them Enterprise trucks, the Ryder trucks, the Penske trucks that are being used by commercial businesses to deliver to commercial businesses. They come through practically on a daily basis. No DOTs on the trucks, no company names. Careless drivers are just ignoring the traffic laws and coming through our neighborhood frequently. I got a picture of another one today, by the way. Semi trucks out the wazoo, coming through all the time. I came home Thursday from work. Within 20 minutes, 6 big commercial trucks went past my driveway. Today, within 15 minutes of coming home, 4 commercial trucks, 2 of them semi-trucks, went by my driveway. But what's really unnerving is for the 3rd time this month, at Saturday at 2:30 in the afternoon, a fully loaded semi fuel tanker gasoline truck went through again. You know how big of an explosion those make? 5 to 10 houses will be down. We had a bus get rolled over in our neighborhood a year ago. Now we got these fuel tanker trucks that keep coming through here. The cops ain't around. I don't care what anybody says and up there in the police department. I'm letting it all out. They're very rarely in our neighborhood. Everybody says they're seeing them. We don't. We see 10 trucks go by. Sometimes you don't see a cop for days. I don't know what the problem is. This problem keeps getting swept under the rug as far as what we can see. A lot of the roads in this town are just crumbling. Pay attention to the pavement you're driving on. See how tore up they are. You know why they're tore up? I don't think I have to say. Chestnut Ridge is getting paved. That's going to be a waste of money because that road's going to be tore up just a few more years because they get just as much truck traffic, if not more, than we do. It's just, when's this problem going to have some forward momentum to get something done with it? We don't see hardly anything being done. I mean, really, there's nothing there. No better signage, no big expensive fines for doing it. There's cities in Pennsylvania that fine a driver $3,000 for damaging the roads when they drive down roads they're not supposed to. You know, it's just so frequent in our neighborhood. It's just way more than you think it is. It's like you got to be there. Just sit there for a day. And if you want to see a truck for sure, come to our neighborhood around 12:15. Every day it seems like around 12:15 some truck comes through. It's a gimme every day. But it just, there really ain't being nothing done about it.
Mr.
Might
Craig,
be talked about, but we don't see it.
your 3 minutes has elapsed.
You just a few more sentences.
I-
Mr. President, move to give Mr. Craig an additional 3 minutes.
Second.
It was moved by Winkle and seconded by Avens to allow Mr. Craig up to an additional 3 minutes to speak. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. All opposed? Mr. Craig?
So I'm just wishing and hoping, like, let's do something about this problem instead of just keep letting it go. It ain't just my neighborhood. It's many neighborhoods to this city. These trucks are just rolling through. If I started taking pictures about it with them, my phone would be out of memory in no time because there's just that many. And on the other side, let's see how long till someone from the city shows up on my property to give me crap about this or do something again, because it's twice this year they showed up trying. Since I'm here giving another speech, let's see how long till I see a city official on my property again. That's all I gotta say. Let's fix this problem.
Thank you, Mr. Craig. Those are all the written submissions I have this evening. Is there anybody else in attendance who would like to address council or the administration? Just as a reminder, if you could begin by stating your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Sandra Williams, 33909 Bainbridge Road,
Okay.
North Ridgeville. I only want to comment on the No Kings rally that was held on Saturday and the amount of people that actually were up there for it. I applaud these people that stood up for our rights, and it's about time we took our rights back. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in attendance who would like to address council this evening? Again, if you could start by stating your name and address for the record, please.
Douglas Hayes, 9316 Nash Lane. I just want to say that before you consider anything, take the entire context into it. And you don't have to answer this because I know you can't, but if any council members want to raise their hand, the ones who are under trial or anything like that for like tax evasion or scamming the welfare system at all, and who's coming up for their trial soon? Does anyone want to? No? Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Do we have anybody else in attendance who would like to address council this evening? Okay, seeing none, the lobby session is closed. We'll move on to administrators' reports. First, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our Public Works Department Streets Division was able to add an additional street to this year's paving list based on available funding. They milled Chestnut Ridge from the roundabout west of the city limits in preparation for paving this week. And thanks again to the staff there for an outstanding job keeping our roads safe. The Senior Center is holding its annual Health and Wellness Fair on Thursday, October 23rd from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Senior Center. There'll be numerous vendors on hand, including free flu shots and blood pressure, glucose, cholesterol, and vision screenings, to name just a few. On Friday, October 24th at 1 p.m. here at City Hall, there is the annual Tots Trick or Treat. The event is intended for children up to 5 years old. Please pre-register for the event through the Park and Recreation Department, so we have plenty of treats for all to enjoy. Also taking place on Friday, October 24th from 5 to 7 p.m. is the Senior Center Spaghetti Dinner. This edition is being sponsored by VFW Post 9871. Heart and Soul has indoor walking at LCCC Ridge Campus. You can get your steps in on Mondays and Wednesdays from 5 to 7 p.m. and on Fridays, 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. It is free and open to the community. As you're aware, and as I've mentioned several times, Issue 8, the income tax increase for North Ridgeville, will appear on the November 4th ballot. The city is asking for an increase from the 1% income tax rate to 1.75. The credit would also be increased from 0.1 to 1 full percent. You'll find an income tax calculator on the city's website that you can plug in your numbers to see how this will impact you specifically. There is a town hall meeting on Issue 8 scheduled for Tuesday, October 28th at 6:30 p.m. in the Academic Center's community room, where we will explain the income tax proposal and answer any questions you might have. Citywide Trick or Treat is being held on Halloween, October 31st, which is Friday, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. If you're planning on participating, please leave your porch lights on. And as a reminder, please drive carefully throughout the city to ensure the safety of our children. On Saturday, November 1st, is the 12th annual Stash Dash, sponsored by our Park and Rec Department. If you're interested in registering, you can register online on our city's website. Bainbridge Road will be closed between State Route 83 and Mitchell Drive, along with the intersections of Root Road and Ranger Way, from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10:30 a.m. the day of the race. Streets will reopen immediately following the conclusion of that race. And I just wanted to end on a happy note. On September 10th, our Mayor's Court personnel, Stacy Dennison and Haley Edelman, received a call from a resident who was slurring her words, and Stacy was able to decode that she was actually having some trouble, and the resident wound up having a stroke at the moment. And Stacy was able to call the fire station while Haley was on the line, keeping Terry calm until help arrived. I wanted to thank both of them for their efforts in saving a life, and we appreciate their service not only to the resident but also to the city of North Ridgeville. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. City Engineer?
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a quick progress update to our capital improvements. Catch basin rehabilitations are complete. Crack sealing is complete. The concrete full depth, we're down to beam, browning, and some ADA repairs, as well as some curb repair in the roundabout at State Route 83 and Mills that was damaged by an oversized vehicle last year. The traffic painting contractor has started, but still needs to do the long lines, including center lines and edge lines. The Frontier Pedestrian Park Bridge for the Parks Department is expected to be on site this week, prepping for the arrival of the prefabricated bridge. The pre-construction meeting for the Root Road Soccer Complex is scheduled for the end of the month. And on Tuesday, October 28th, ODOT's contractor will be paving over the north side of the Center Ridge Road Bridge over Mills Creek so that they can swap traffic to the north side and then continue their efforts with the bridge on the south side. And I'd like to end also on a good note. We just received last week our Army Corps permit for the wetland mitigation for the Mills Creek Flood Control Project. As you might be aware, we've been waiting patiently. I think we've had 3 rounds of reviews. Almost 5 years later, we've finally gotten approval. And at one point, we thought we might have to pay for some of the off-site mitigation as well, but it appears in the permit that we do not have to do that. Although there are 32 pages of stipulations that we have to adhere to, it doesn't look like any immediate money needs to be out of our coffers. So I'm really excited and looking forward to moving that project forward. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Yeah, that is great news. Thank you for sharing. Director of Finance.
Thank you, Council President. In advance of this meeting, I provided council a memorandum detailing the financial legislation before you tonight. Because there's so many pieces, I'd like to address each individually after the first reading. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Please note that council has also received the September 2025 Parks and Recreation Division report. The September 2025, I think that's supposed to say Fire Department report, and then the September 2025 Water Distribution and EPA report. And that'll bring us to recess.
Mr. President, move to dispense with recess.
Second.
The motion was made by Winkle and seconded by Awig to dispense with recess this evening. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say yes. Yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Recess has been dispensed. Up first, under first readings tonight, we have 2025-141.
A resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
Mr. President, move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
It was moved by Winkle and seconded by Awig to dispense with the second and third readings for 2025-141. Is there any discussion or comments?
Council President?
Yes, Director of Finance.
This legislation is the final step in the annual budget process. This legislation council is accepting, the property tax rates and amounts as approved by the Budget Commission. If you recall, back in July, actually July 7th, council adopted an ordinance, 2025-106, which were the rates and estimates that were reviewed and approved by the Budget Commission. I'd like to ask council to consider adopting this resolution tonight so we can meet the Lorraine County Auditor deadline of October 31st. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional comments or questions? On the motion to dispense with the second and third readings, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause for the reasons stated by Director of Finance to meet the October 31st deadline.
Second.
It was moved by Winkle and seconded by Awig to add the emergency clause to 2025-141 in order to meet the deadline, as explained by the Director of Finance. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
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 All opposed say no. It was moved by Winkle and seconded by Awig to adopt 2025-141 with the emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awig,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries and 2025-141 has been adopted.
2025-142.
A resolution authorizing fund transfers.
Mr. President, move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
The motion was made by Winkle and seconded by Awig to dispense with the second and third readings for 2025-142. Is there any discussion?
Council President?
Director of Finance?
This legislation is to transfer funds from the Water Operating Fund and the Water Meter Service Fund to the Water Bond Retirement Fund. During annual appropriations, we discussed the annual debt service payment for the water meter replacement project. And so we've collected 9 months of water meter service fees. And so the transfer from the Water Meter Service Fund will be used to support the principal pay down of those notes, which mature on December 3rd, 2025. So I'd like to ask council to adopt this resolution with the emergency clause so we can be sure the funding is in place for the note payment.
Thank you. Are there any additional questions or comments? On the motion to dispense with the second and third readings for 2025-142, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move the emergency clause for the reasons stated by the Director of Finance.
Second.
It was moved by Winkle and seconded by Awig to add the emergency clause to 2025-142 for the reasons just stated by the Director of Finance. On the emergency clause, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. It was moved by Winkle and seconded by Awig to adopt 2025-142 with the emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink.
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Abens.
Yes.
Winkle.
Yes.
Awig.
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries and 2025-142 has been adopted.
2025-143.
A resolution authorizing the execution of then and now certificates by the city fiscal officer and the payment of amounts due for various purchase orders.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Winkle.
move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
The motion was made by Winkle and seconded by Awig to dispense with the second and third readings for 2025-143. Is there any discussion?
Council President,
Director of Finance?
this is an annual lease payment for a 2024 Ford dump truck. Council authorized this payment through annual appropriation, and the payment is now due. I'd like to ask council to consider adopting this resolution with the emergency clause so we can make payment on the invoice.
Thank you. Are there any additional questions or comments? Again, it was moved by Winkle and seconded by Awig to dispense with the second and third readings for 2025-143. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Mr. Winkle?
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause for reasons stated by the Director of Finance.
Second.
It was moved by Winkle and seconded by Awig to add the emergency clause to 2025-143 for the reasons stated by the Director of Finance. On the emergency clause, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. It was moved by Winkle and seconded by Awig to adopt 2025-143 with the emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time?
Through the chair, I have a question.
Mr. Schaefer?
If we avoided paying this for a couple more times, would we get any interest off that money in the bank?
No, we would get late fees for not paying the invoice on time.
Are there any additional comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink.
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Abens.
Yes.
Winkle.
Yes.
Awig.
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries and 2025-143 has been adopted.
2025-144.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 2024-139 of the city of North Ridgeville, Ohio, providing appropriations for the period commencing January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025.
Mr. President, move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
The motion was made by Winkle and seconded by Awig to dispense with the second and third readings for 2025-144. Are there any comments or questions?
Council President?
Director of Finance?
Yes, this budget amendment includes compensatory cash outs for the Public Works Department, property taxes due to the North Ridgeville Library, and appropriation of the two fund transfers we just discussed in Resolution 2025-142. I'd like to ask council to adopt this ordinance tonight with the emergency clause to provide the resources necessary to meet our financial obligations. Thank you.
Thank you. And just as a reminder, the library is not a taxing authority in and of itself. The city is the taxing authority for the library, which is why we have collected the property taxes and are now sending them to the library. Are there any additional comments or questions? So again, on the motion to dispense with the second and third readings for 2025-144, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Winkle?
move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I also like to move to add the emergency clause for the reasons stated by the Director of Finance.
Second.
It was moved by Winkle, seconded by Awig to add the emergency clause to 2025-144 for the reasons stated by the Director of Finance. On the emergency clause, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. It was moved by Winkle and seconded by Awig to adopt 2025-144 with the emergency clause. At this time, are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Abens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awig,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries, and ordinance number 2025-144 has been adopted.
Under second readings, we have 2025-131.
An ordinance accepting up to 200 hours of sick time when an employee transfers from one public employer to the city of North Ridgeville, Ohio.
Twenty 2025-133.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to purchase 2 influence screening units from Ortec Incorporated according to law and in a manner prescribed by law.
2025-134.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to negotiate and enter into a contract according to law and a manner prescribed by law with the lowest and best bidder for the installation of 2 new influence screening systems at the French Creek wastewater treatment plant.
Twenty 2025-135.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to contract for the launder covers purchase and installation according to law in a manner prescribed by law, and to authorize the installation of alternative bid 3 as part of the replacement and upgrade of the complete mixed tank aeration and mixing system at the French Creek wastewater treatment plant.
2025-136.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 5679-2019 with authorize the inclusion of non-written assessments for the position of police chief and police captain.
Twenty 2025-137.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 5681-2019, which authorized the inclusion of non-written assessments for the positions of fire chief and assistant fire chief.
Twenty 2025-139.
An ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of not to exceed $4,025,000 worth of notes in anticipation of the issuance of bonds to provide funds to pay cost of acquiring and installing ultrasonic water meter equipment together with all necessary appurtenances thereto.
Under third readings, we have 2025-127.
An ordinance providing for the amendment of Chapter 1446, registration of contractors in the Building and Housing Code.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mrs. Swink.
move to adopt.
Second.
It was moved by Swink and seconded by Abens to adopt 2025-127. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Abens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Abstain.
Awig,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries, and 2025-127 has been adopted.
The next regular city council meeting will be held on Monday, November 3rd, 2025 at 7 p.m. in council chambers. Before we adjourn this evening, I would like to take a moment to recognize a truly outstanding accomplishment by a member of our team. It is with great pride that I share with you that our Assistant Clerk of Council, Fijabi Galam, has been selected to serve as Vice President of the Ohio Municipal Clerks Association for 2026. This is not only a personal achievement for Fiji, but also an honor for our entire city. Fiji has consistently demonstrated a high level of professionalism and dedication to public service here in North Ridgeville, and this new leadership position is well-deserved to recognize her contributions not only in our community, but to municipalities throughout the state. So please join me in congratulating Fiji. Thank you, Fiji, for all you do to facilitate our jobs as council members and to keep the council clerk's office running efficiently. We appreciate it. Do any council members have any final comments this evening?
Through the chair,
Mr. Schaefer?
I was coming in from the highway over here, and there's a banner that still maintains that there's a tax credit on the ballot. And that's not true. I think we established that last meeting. Does anybody feel like the public is being lied to?
Where did you say the banner was? is.
Coming off the highway where the roundabout is.
Oh, okay. Do any other members of council have any final comments this evening?
I also was concerned that we're having a tax increase on people who work here, but we're allegedly giving a credit that people don't. It seems to me that's incredibly divisive. And shouldn't we be trying to bring people together instead of pitting them against each other?
Thank you, Mr. Schaefer. Are there any additional comments or questions? All right, hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.